אוקיי, בוקר טוב לכולם, תודה שהצטרפתם. אנחנו נתחיל עכשיו בסמינר של כריסטוף מחברת לייזר בנושא סימון, וחריטה וריתוך בלייזר, חברה גרמנית ותיקה מאוד עם הרבה מאוד ניסיון. And I switch to English now. Kристоф, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. And hello and welcome to the webinar of Escalator about laser technology. I would like to introduce myself. I am Christoph Koollbach, the general manager of Escalator. And because of the special history of Israel and Germany, I would like to give you some information about myself, and the most important is my grandmother. She saved the life of a young Jewish girl because she was taking care for the children of a rich Jewish family in Wuppertal, and I'm very happy that she was not politics, she was not a Nazi, and therefore I have a little picture for you. This is the photo. It is my mother at the age of 14 and Ruth Winter, who lived in Tel Aviv. Okay. So let's start now. This is my daughter Dina. She joined Escalator last year and she will be my successor sometime. Okay, who is Escalator? Well, there is more than 15 years of laser experience in marking and engraving, ablation, plastic welding, plastic cutting, and kiss cut. I will give more information about these lasers. We provide industrial laser solutions like standalone machines, semi-automatic machines, and fully automatic machines. These are all made in Germany, and we are located in Wiesbaden, which is 15 minutes from the Frankfurt airport. And we do also deliver the machines to Israel, and we would give training and service, of course, with Ehud and his team. So we are specialized in laser machines. And we are very proud that our machines do not break. That means we can deliver them worldwide and they will work, and work. If you need some specialties, we can customize hardware and software so that you get a machine that really does your work. And the most important, maybe I can show you later, it is very easy to use. You don't need a specialist. And you don't need much time to set up a new job. Well, this is the countries where we have installations, and it's very interesting to see that also not only in Egypt, but in Sudan, there's somebody who bought a machine from us. How it works. Okay, what is a laser? How is it working like it? I would like to give you a short introduction. In the center, you have this pumping chamber. It is the so-called resonator, and you pump some light into the resonator, and this activates the photons that start moving between two mirrors, and as soon as the media, meaning the light, the photons are strong enough, they would pass through the semi-transparent mirror and you would have the laser light. As soon as this goes out, it would be directed to a so-called scan head, and the scanner is having two of these mirrors, and these two mirrors guide the laser beam through a lens to the object that you want to mark or cut or other. Now I want to show some applications. This is interesting. It is a company you know, Ideal Standard, or maybe Ideal Standard. You know this big company. It is a location in Cairo in Egypt, and they bought a machine to mark a number like 1 million pieces per year. And I thought Mr. Mohammed should buy an automatic machine, but he told me labor is cheap in Egypt, and therefore he bought a manual one. Okay, you can easily mark sign plates with a laser. You can mark on aluminum, you can mark on stainless steel, you can mark on plastic. Everything is possible. You can import logos and mark text and have flexible data and so on. This is what is now very common, because in these little tubes you put something like coronavirus into, and so that you don't mix the tubes, you would have to mark them with, in this case, it is on the top, it is the data matrix code, and they have the same code on the side. This is a plastic marking for modern houses. It is a Bluetooth switch to switch off the light and something like that. And you can see a QR code and some data and a logo. This is also plastic marking on a part for elevators. This is a copper cable. Copper stripping is very common. You can do this with laser easily and very fast. And you need a lot of power depending on the time you have. This is a little similar. It is cleaning or rust removal on the left photo. On the right photo, it is just coating, which is removed with a laser. This is not very common in Germany because we don't produce jeans. They're all produced in Asia, in Vietnam or China. But the laser could mark on the surface of textiles, especially if it is plastic, like polypropylene or whatever. And with the jeans, you do some ablation of the blue. And nowadays, jeans are completely marked with the laser, not stone washed. Stone washed, you may know this. Also, we have lasers to cut metal and plastic, but for metal, it is only very thin foil. Yeah, it is not to cut big steel. And this is also for specialists on places where you cannot reach the part and where you do have to do ablation. Laser is first choice because laser could do flexible and deep and very fast engraving, and we provide very strong lasers for this. This is a specialty. It is plastic welding. I can show you. This is a part of the automotive, difficult for me to explain, but when you enter into your car and you put the belt on, it makes click, and the part that clicks is the silver one in the black. It is a stainless steel ball, and they wanted to weld the white to the black and without disturbing the white. And this is possible with the laser because the laser goes through the white without touching the white plastic and melts both together, or weld. Another interesting plastic part.
Can you explain a bit more about the welding, please?
Yes. Okay, let's go back. This one? Ehud?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Okay. With our fiber lasers, we can weld plastic parts together, but we need one plastic part which is like HDPE nature so that this laser will not touch it. And the other plastic should be like, for example, HDPE, but in black, so that the laser beam will heat the plastic and melt it. Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So I continue, okay? This is plastics cutting. I will show the second photo that explains more than with my words. So normally you cut this with a knife, but you can also cut this with a laser. This is label kiss cut. I don't know whether you're familiar with this word. In the label industry, you print on the upper layer of the label, and after you want to cut out, and maybe you want not to cut through the whole 3 layers, but as shown here with the red on the right side, this is what they call kiss cut. It does not go through, so you have 1 layer for transportation of the whole, and the other to tear off, which is very common in the label industry. And we have very powerful lasers, and we can provide full machines to do this process. Also, very common at present for the health industry, we can have this fleece and can cut fleece. You may have heard the name of melt blown, which is the important fleece which you need to protect for coronavirus. And it is not the one shown on the photo, but this one goes into a machine that helps you stay alive when you're in hospital, when you need a machine to help you pump air in your lungs. Escalator advantages. So we have a wide range of laser expertise. We can offer customized machines, and we do worldwide installation and training. So how does it look like? This is our, let's say the standard, which we can customize according to your needs. If you have a standard machine and the head is fixed, you can only mark at what point. But here with our machine, you can pull and push the head, so that gives you more flexibility in the marking area. There in the background, you see the Z-axis, which is not standing on the table. It is hanging under the roof, which gives you more space under the laser. This is the scanner, which you saw before, the little scheme with these 2 mirrors. This is 2 magnets and 2 prisms. This is for quick installation. For example, if you want to have an angle, you could take these 2 prisms and build an angle. Or you can use the prisms to mark on a round part, like a driller. The working plate, you can use magnets on it, and we use magnets for quick installation. And also we have these holes. The distance is 25 millimeters and the diameter is 4.1, so that our customers can build their own tablets for marking of several parts in a matrix. This is what I said before, the roof-mounted Z-axis. We have 2 of these. Can you see these? This is a laser pointer. And we have 2 of these laser pointers, one here and one here. And with these 2 laser pointers, we can control the distance very easily with the Z-axis, you go up and down. And when you see one point, you have the right focus. I explained that before. This is our new cockpit, which gives you access to the most important buttons and to start the computers, to start the machine, emergency stop, and so on. So we have a modular system. This is, let's say, the center, the heart of it, which is TÜV-prüft. This is a very important authority in Germany. And so you are, with this machine, you're on the safe side. And we have a lot of add-ons. Like if you want to install an automatic machine, you can have feed like a magazine, a conveyor, or a robot, or a slide. We have the different types of lasers like fiber lasers, CO2 lasers, MOPA lasers, green light lasers, UV lasers for all the different purposes, and high power lasers for ablation. Yeah, you can order the cabinet in different sizes. Yeah, that depends on your parts. If you want to have heavy parts, you get a crane loaded machine. If you want to mark multiple parts, you get a sledge or a tunnel, and so on. We provide all extras which are common in the machinery business, like turntables, axis systems, rotating units, cameras for checking, or pneumatic or electric doors, and of course, conveyor or a sorting robot at the end. So this leads to fully automatic machines, like small ones, big ones. I will show some video to show to you and show some machines again. This is the 4th and 5th axis, which goes automatically with the software, so very easy to use. This is a camera system that can control data matrix codes after you have marked the data matrix code, or you can control the position of a part. Yeah, this is a special door if you need it. This is a 2-position sledge, which is not so expensive, and you can manually move parts inside. So this machine holds forever, not much electricity, and keeps your man working and running.
Mr. Kריסטוף, just one question before.
Please.
Is the welding machine can also mark on parts, or it's
yes, it is. Yes, the welding machine is the, let's say, the standard fiber laser.
Okay, thank you.
So this is the crane loading machine. So if you have heavy parts, yeah, which you have to load by crane, you can put it here on the sledge and you push the sledge into the cabinet. Pneumatic or electric door. Rotating table gives you the chance to load and upload outside and work, meaning laser, inside. Now I want to show this. I have prepared a little video, just watch it. Außen zu beladen, während gleichzeitig innen gelasert wird. Ja, das kann ich Ihnen einmal vorführen. Ich habe jetzt 3 Positionen hier am Beispiel von Schildern eingerichtet. Ich drücke mal auf den Startknopf. Dabei zu beachten ist, wie schnell der Teller dreht. Und was besonders It was on an exhibition in France, yeah. It's marking some signs over there. Okay. Now we have a machine with conveyor belt, different conveyor belts. I have one example prepared for you also. It starts moving. Here you have the optical sensor. I have to close the door now. Please watch it through our laser safety window. First part is marked, and it is marking on the fly. That means it is marking while the machine is running and the parts are moving. Now it has detected the second part and it is marking. So the feeding of this machine is quite simple. In this case, the customer wanted to. Okay, yeah, you put this just to the white side and it moves automatically into the machine, is detected and marked.
Mr. Kריסטוף, can you explain about marking on polypropylene and PET?
Well, we can mark on polypropylene and PET. PET is excellent to mark. Polypropylene depends a little on the type and especially on the color. Yeah, we have to test it, but PET is possible and gives excellent result normally.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. This is a fully automatic machine to mark the tubes. And you have a storage here in this machine about 2,500 tubes, and it is pulled outside and a little robot takes one tube here and goes to the laser machine, and here it will be marked with an EAN code on the side of the tube, which is a plastic side, yeah? So it is a plastic marking machine for small parts and it's fully automatic. This is also a fully automatic machine. It can mark all different parts. It is our standard machine. Here you have multi-user order in Industry 4.0. You have a bunker for a number of parts. In this case, it was for the Deutsche Bahn, the railway, German railway. They wanted to mark on a lot of sign plates, but it could be sign plates or other parts. And the transport unit, storage. Okay, we'll show you a video, a little video. Here it starts. It's a little loud, excuse me. So we put the sign into different geometries. It's controlled by Siemens SPS. This marking is called annealing. We can mark on stainless steel, and steel we can mark in black. And afterwards we sort these plates to orders. Okay, I showed these three little videos to show how lasers work, and you see it is not much to see because you cannot see the laser light, but it works, believe me. Okay. The advantages of the laser compared to printing units is the personalization, and you can mark laser on demand. That means you can print one unit easily. Minimal setup time and very few costs, but because you only need power, and the standard laser needs only 400 watt, which is a third of a toaster. And constant quality of a print. And we mark contactlessly with different settings if you like. Inline and offline solutions are available. Here, this gives you a nice view on what you can do. You can, if you like, mark pictures like bitmap, JPEG, logos like this one, vector logos. You can import DWG, DXF, PLT, EPS, and other types. You can mark circles. You can mark data matrix, QR codes. Here is a QR code, EAN code, different EAN codes, and so on and so on. I would, if you're interested, I can show you the software, and believe me, it is really easy to use. Also, if you like, if you need, we can do set up special programs. This is for a French customer. On the right side, you can read some French words. So we translated everything into French language, and yeah, that's a special program just for the customer.
Mr. Kריסטוף,
please.
Regarding also cutting, is the same machine can cut, mark, and weld?
No. For cutting, it is a totally different laser. We need a CO2 laser and more power.
Can you explain a bit more about cutting the laser?
Yes. Okay. Let me show this slide, and the next slide I will show some cutting lasers, okay? So these are marking lasers for, it is on the left side, you see the fiber laser. In the center, you see a green light laser, and on the right side, you see two lasers. And under the F series, you can read 10W up to 300W. That means the power is 10 watt to 300 watt. For standard marking applications on steel, you need 20 watt. For plastics, 20 watt is fine. Some plastics are not good to mark. For this, we choose the green laser. The green laser is better for marking on plastics, but it is not good for welding or cutting. And the C laser is best for plastics, but it is only engraving or cutting. And for cutting, we use high power laser. Therefore, you can read up to 450 watt, and nowadays 650 watt. So let me go to the next slide. Here you see bigger laser engines. Yeah, the weight is like 100 kilo, just the laser head. It's very powerful, and this is for very fast cutting solutions. Any more questions for cutting, Ehud?
Yes, regarding, I don't know if cutting, but on round surfaces, about marking on round surfaces, what is the diameter that is possible?
Okay.
Not turning the part.
Yes. Okay. When I showed the standard workstation, I showed the space, and our workspace under the laser is in the standard machine is 400 millimeter by 710 millimeter, which is, you can put big parts under the laser. The working area of the laser itself depends on the lens. Because when you look at these laser heads, you see the scan head, and on the scan head, you see something black here and here. And this is the lens. It is the lens, like a lens at your photo camera. You can take it off and change it to one with a long focus or short focus. And let's say a standard focus gives you an area for cutting or marking of something like up to 200 millimeters, but standard is 140 by 140 millimeters. Normally it is rectangular. It's 140 by 140. With a big lens, it goes up to 210 by 210, and it can go to 300 by 300.
Okay, what about like objects that like tennis ball? Can you print on the diameter?
On the tennis ball, so round parts, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yes and no. So if you want to mark on round parts, you can mark on it, but it's better to have a lens with a long focus. This gives you, let's say the area up and down will be with a long focus, like 3 or 4 millimeter. So if you have a curved part, yeah, let me explain it here with my, so this you can, with a laser, you can mark from here to here. This is not possible because here you cannot mark, here in the center you can mark. So this is the marking area of this plastic part here.
And this is possible to add like a shaft that tells the object?
Yes. I will go back to a slide and I will show to you. Let me. No, sorry. So, can you see this? This is what we call rotating unit. On the left side, you see a rotating unit with 3 clamps that goes up to a diameter of 60 millimeters. And on the right side, you see a bigger one that goes up to 125 millimeters. And there is a third version, which is very, very heavy for bigger parts. Yeah. And the software, which you see on the top where it's written Escalator, the software controls the rotating unit, and it works like you mark and it turns, and you mark and it turns. So you mark, turn, mark, turn. Yeah, that is how the software controls it. Ehud, is that okay?
Yes, we have another question.
Okay.
Regarding polypropylene, can you explain a bit more about polypropylene objects, the markings, the problems, the solution?
Yes, okay. Well, this is ABS, okay. I don't have polypropylene here. I know that polypropylene is not very easy. It is not the best to mark on polypropylene, but you can mark on polypropylene, maybe with a special laser. The tricky thing with the special lasers is they are much more expensive than standard lasers. Yeah? And therefore, let's talk about the UV laser. UV laser might be the best laser to mark on plastic, but it costs up to 100,000 euros or more. And so most of the people are not willing to pay so much money for the laser. And that is why they search for other solutions. Another solution that always helps with all plastics is to put some plastic additive into the plastic before you produce your parts. Can I ask the customers whether they are familiar with this, or shall I explain this again a little deeper?
Sorry, I didn't catch it. Can you repeat?
I can repeat. Okay. I want to introduce the laser additive. Laser additive is some special material which your customers can put into the plastic when they produce the plastic parts. So before they melt, they can put this into the plastic. And I would like to ask if they are familiar with this process or not.
Yes, just
They know. Okay, okay. So if you know this, I can say that with this laser additive, you can mark almost all plastics with the standard laser. Yeah. And from what I know from these plastics, it is quite cheap. You need something like 2 to 5% of this laser additive to put into the plastic, melt it, and maybe it costs something like 20 to 30 euros per kilo here in Germany. Okay, let's go back. So we're almost done. As I mentioned it before, we do installation training, of course, with the help of our Israel friends, Ehud. I mean, I'm talking about you, but we're there to help, and we can do this via the internet and so on. So this is some sort of sea or air freight packaging. This is a wooden box. Inside you have a vacuum inliner around our machine so that it will not be damaged by cold air, by air freight, or salty mist by sea freight. Yeah, here in Germany we deliver with our own cars, and we love to do installation and training because it is always very nice to see how much fun it makes to use this machine. Easy installation, short preparation time, very long running costs, environmental friendly. I want to say this during these days, it is very important. Why? Because, yeah, we don't use any solvents. We just have the laser, and it is consuming very low power. So it is really, from the environmental point of view, it is very friendly. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to speak to you, and I would like to answer all your questions if I can.
Can you explain a bit, do you have an experience with the supermarket boxes to mark like data matrix or?
Data matrix code is very easy, but what is supermarket box? What do you mean?
I don't know, like crates that are using the vegetables inside.
Yes, it should be easy. It is just depending on the plastic. Yeah, it's always the same, because I learned that plastic is always some kind of a little different, and the best is really to make a little test and to see how it works. In most cases, yeah, with data matrix or EN code, it's very easy. I can, if you like, I can show you a scanner. Here on my mobile phone, I have a scanning device, yeah, and I will get one example. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So you remember this part? Yeah, now I will read it, and this size is very easy to read. Every reader can this size. The size is something like, I guess it's 12 millimeter by 12 millimeter. This is very easy. Now, this is for the coronavirus test. It is test equipment, okay? And here on the back side, you can see these data matrix codes, yeah? But this is very small, okay? Let me see. Yeah, it's even if it is very small, it is really excellent to read. Yeah. Is it okay, or was it too fast, too quick?
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. And also, yes.
We hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So this is AIN code. I can also read this one. Yeah. Okay. It is just an example, and the reading of the reading, this is a matter of the reading device. So the iPhone, and especially this little app, is excellent. And so that means it depends on how good your device in the supermarket is, but we can test this. It's no problem.
אוקיי, I switch to Hebrew. זה הזמן לשאלות. מי שרוצה לשאול כל מיני שאלות שעולות לו. אפשר בצ'אט, אפשר לשלוח לי הודעה. Just a second, Kiristof. Someone a question.
No problem.
Can you explain a bit until we get the question about the process of defining a machine and solutions?
Yes. Okay. The first is that we make a sample, because when we produce a sample, we, meaning me, Kiristof Cockpit, I can see whether it works, whether it's easy or not easy, so that I can give some sort of idea to you, and you when you see the result on your part, and you say, okay, yeah, that's good, I like it, it's okay. Yeah. If you don't like the result, you can forget about it. So the sample is really very important. And after we have made the sample, we have to discuss how many pieces do you need to mark. And if it is, let's say, somebody who said 1 to 500 parts per day, and the number of job is 1 to 5 parts, the same part, and so many different jobs. This would lead to our standard machine. But if it is a bigger number, or if it is every time the same part for 1 week or longer, we may think about an automatic solution or semi-automatic solution. And I want to go back to another slide and show you the semi-automatic solution. This one is not very expensive because you only have this 2-position slide, and it gives you the chance to laser inside and to load and unload outside, which is much cheaper than the rotating table version. I show this one again. The rotating table version, it costs something like 55,000 euros. It is, from the control point of view and electronics point of view, it is high sophisticated, let's say. It is much work for us to produce it. And therefore, the other version with the manual sledge is much cheaper. So after you have decided what, let's say how big your parts are. This is also an important point. Let's say the parts are not heavy, but not very small. We have to think about and you want to produce mass of this. You have to think about an automatic version. And I have a version like this one. This is a more than 6 meter long conveyor belt. And this is to mark on very, very long parts. So the customer wanted to mark on 6 meter long parts, and we had to build this laser to mark on 6 meters. Yeah, not just on the top or just in the middle or just at the end. No, the whole part from the very beginning to the end. So this is, yeah, if you, maybe some of your customers has an idea and you can give me the idea of what kinds of parts it is, and we can, I can discuss and give some idea.
Okay. For now, I have a different question. So
please, yeah, please go ahead.
Regarding durability of laser marking,
okay,
to weather condition like UV, rain, etc.
Okay, yes. Normally, the laser process is, yeah, it is compared to other machines, it is a clean machine. Regarding the dust, you can have a lot of dust if you cut plastics. Yeah, it makes a lot of it stings and it makes a lot of dust. But if you mark on steel, it can be a very clean thing. So the laser itself should work under temperature between 5 and 35 degrees. It can also work at 40 degrees, but maybe the laser power will decrease. Why? Yeah, this is the physics of the laser machine itself. It does not like hot or very hot weather. So like when you have 45 degrees, it is not too good. Therefore, it should be inside. Yeah, and it or we must cool it down, which is not possible. Sorry, it is possible to have a water-cooled laser, and maybe this is best choice for you. And I do not really understand an installation where UV light or sunlight would affect the laser quality, or maybe I did not understand it right.
Maybe regarding the laser marking itself.
Okay, now I understand.
Are exposed to weather conditions like
okay. Okay. Normally, I always say, well, laser marking is permanent. It will last forever. Yeah, which is true if we do a deep engraving. Yeah, so that means with our lasers, you can not only mark. I have to explain. We have color changing. So this is color changing. Yeah, you change the color of the plastic, but you could also make a deep engraving into the laser, into the plastic, and this deep engraving, this would last forever. Yeah, because it goes into the material.
אוקיי. יש עוד שאלות למי שנמצא כאן? Okay, how deep should it be, the engraving?
How big?
How deep?
Deep. Oh. That is up to you. I mean, normally it is not necessary to mark as deep as 0.1, because I know from the steel business, they always want 0.1 millimeter. This is too deep. We don't need this. If it is 0.05, 1/5, it is it is deep enough, I guess, yeah. But that depends on what it is. Like when you are in the weapon industry and you have to mark a serial number on a rifle, it obviously should last forever. In this case, you mark a little deeper into the steel. And this is possible. It is no problem because I can explain how do we mark if it is deeper. Well, we not only mark once, we click on the computer and ask the program mark several or multiple times, meaning 5 or 20 times. So it marks one, pop, 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 goes one, back and back and back. So if, let's say, one mark is 10 seconds, yeah, and you mark 10 times, so it's 100 seconds. And with 100 seconds or 10 times marking, it will be deeper.
Okay, I see. If anyone doesn't have any more questions, I think, Kריסטוף, would you like to summarize?
Well, the question is if the customers would like to see a machine set up and the software, we could also do this maybe in a second webinar, Ehud, yeah. And to summarize, I would like to thank you very much for visiting and seeing and listening to this webinar. As Escalator in Germany, we are very happy to produce very reliable laser machines that stands for long years. And the specialty of Escalator is that we can produce customized machines according to the need of the customer. And I would like to thank you very much to you, Ehud, and your team. Thank you very much for this excellent webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Kריסטוף, for your time and willing to share your know-how. It was very interesting. אם למישהו אין שאלות, אני חושב שאנחנו נסיים פה. אני רוצה להודות לכולם באמת על הזמן שהקדישו. אנחנו פה, אתם מכירים את המייל שלי, לכל שאלות, לכל דבר של שאלה או רצון להתקדם, אנחנו נמצאים פה. Thank you very much, Kריסטוף, and we'll see you in the future.
Okay, have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.